You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. Over at ESPN.com, Mark Schlabach has a piece up where he does the spring overreactions for the top 25, for the preseason top 25. So storylines that he believes are overreactions for each top 25 team coming out of spring ball. And the one he has for LSU, I'm just floored that anybody would actually have this as one of their reactions from spring ball. The the overreaction that Schlabach has from LSU is, I want to read it to you because it's actually kind of comical to me anyway, or I think probably to anybody that follows LSU football. The overreaction, DBU is back. Now, that would be an overreaction if anybody had that as a reaction. I cover this team every day and have since 2007. I don't know a single human who has uttered the words DBU is back or anything of the sort. I think a lot of people are confident the safety position's better. I think Sage Ryan is playing his natural position. I think playing the star is more natural for Major Burns. I think bringing in Jordan Gilbert from Texas A&M gives you a guy that's been a starting safety in the SEC. I have no idea whatsoever to expect from LSU's cornerbacks, and I certainly wouldn't utter the words that DBU is back. So I said, let's actually go around the room here and come up with an overreaction, offense, defense, and special teams. Do we have a little bed music there, Muse, so we could do this? We assign Muse. Oh. I love that Big Ten on CBS
Don't
theme.
do this. Stop it.
That Big Ten on CBS theme is awesome. I'm sorry, that's the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl theme. Love the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl theme. Don't you, Muse?
It's a good bowl game.
It's not.
I do like that game a lot.
Do you know who played in that game last year?
Absolutely not.
Bingo, it's not a good game. None of them are. But they're just something to bet on, which is why we watch. All right, Muse, I gave you offense. I took defense, and Paulie took special teams. Muse, lead us off here. What is the spring overreaction from the offense for LSU?
The spring overreaction for the offense, Matt, is that they're not going to miss a beat from last year. You have to replace Jaden Daniels, Heisman Trophy winner.
Why do you hate LSU? Why do you hate Nuss?
What are you talking about?
You hate Nuss.
I don't hate Nuss.
Clearly, you hate Nuss.
I just said they're not going to miss a beat.
No, you said that's the overreaction.
Oh, yeah, that's the overreaction. They're not.
So you're saying they are going to miss a beat?
You
hate
saying
Nuss.
People think
you're not on the Nuss bus.
That's not true.
You know what you did? You just took a
this.
knife and you shoved it into the tire of the Nuss bus.
Why
That's what you did.
That was actually pretty funny. Why are you doing that?
Well, you just said it's an overreaction.
Everyone's saying
won't miss a beat.
Okay, well, you're having to replace the Heisman Trophy winner, the number 2 overall pick in the draft, and Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, with Nuss.
2,000-yard receivers.
Yeah.
Who both went in the first round.
With Kyron Lacey and Chris Hilton, who are both awesome, too.
They're good. And not to mention, you have other guys like Xavier Thomas and C.J. Daniels that you brought in. And Mason Taylor is going to obviously have a bigger role in the passing game as well. So I can see why people think that. But to sit there and just say, oh, they're not going to. You have a new coordinator, play caller. You do have a great offensive line. Yeah. But there is some uncertainty there. At least there should be a little.
I actually agree with you. I was just playing devil's advocate.
All right.
Do we have any transition sound effect or anything?
I didn't get the transition sound effect. I'm sorry.
You have anything you can play?
Sure. I mean, there's always something.
Sound effect, so we can go to Paulie. No worries, Muse. The show ends at 6. Take your time. The hour ends in a few. Paulie, special teams. What's the overreaction?
So the overreaction for special teams is that it's fixed.
Okay.
Not really. It's been oddly quiet around special teams.
It has been oddly quiet. I agree about that.
So Damian Ramos has been solid for you as your kicker, but you have no good punt returners, no kickoff returners. LSU hasn't been good on defense or on special teams under Brian Kelly. You go from Brian Polian, John Jancic, Bob Diaco, now it's Slade Nagel's turn. So,
yeah.
I don't know if we have this ready, Moose, but BK said something about Peyton Todd not being good.
Not being good.
Not as consistent as I would like. I thought today was an opportunity for him to just say there is no competition here. And he's got to be more consistent, quite frankly.
All right, so the overreaction is that there is no reaction to special teams. I actually agree with that as well, Paulie. I think special teams is a giant question. We're not talking about it at all. Like, I don't even know who's going to punt. I have no idea who's going to return kicks. Are they going to be any good? I really don't know. That is a good, fair one. Thank you. And the overreaction on defense, I'll take that one, is Harold Perkins. Moving inside will work. And you are hearing people just take that hook, line, and sinker. There was a 2025 mock draft we talked about last week from Jordan Reed, who's got Harold Perkins going number 24 overall to Houston. Okay, we know Harold Perkins is a great athlete, but we saw this a year ago. We saw them do this a year ago, move Harold Perkins inside. It lasted one game. Brian Kelly, before spring, talked about Harold Perkins moving inside again.
The defensive structure is different. I think you start there. You've got a new voice. Blake is coaching the linebacker, so you have a new voice. That's different. That's the second. And then I think collectively, Harold, myself, and Blake felt like, in all instances, this is a place that is going to maximize his potential. And we certainly could keep him out at the star Sam linebacker position, but I think he can impact the defense in so many ways at the will linebacker position.
Translation, Harold Perkins wants to be a three-down linebacker in the NFL, so he needs to play it now. And I get that, and it may work. But I don't know how you can be convinced that it will. Remember, Harold Perkins spent the entire offseason last year trying this. He spent all of spring and all of fall camp taking every rep at off-ball linebacker, played one game there against Florida State. It was a disaster, and they moved him back to the nickel Sam, where he had a very productive year. 75 tackles, 13 TFLs, 5.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and interception. And now you're moving him back to the spot where it didn't work. So you're going to give him a whole nother offseason trying this again. And maybe it will. Like, it can work. Like, can this work? Yes. Will it work? I think is a big question. But I love what Blake Baker had to say about why he feels this can work for Harold Perkins.
Inside linebacker, to me, it's an instinctual position, but the way you gain instincts is by getting reps. So the more and more reps he gets, the more and more he continues to grow, and you've seen that so far. But that's really what it's going to come down to is making sure that we can maximize his reps, maximize him seeing different looks, and then playing off of that, and then simplifying the game for him. You know, I think you go back to 21 with Damone Clark, same thing is everybody said, oh, he can't play inside linebacker, he can't. If you simplify the game for any kid, they can do what you ask them to do, and that's
I love that logic, and I hope Blake Baker's the right guy to pull it off. But there you have it, our 3 overreactions from LSU Spring Football. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.